I'm Miss Frederick. So good to see you again for another week of learning. Remember, I'm going to be teaching the scholars who just finished second grade and are ready to move into third. We're going to work on ELA or phonics skills. And I'm so excited we have some fun lessons planned for this week. But first we have to sing our Hello There song. You know how it goes. My turn. You repeat. Hello there. How are you? It's so good to see you. We'll sing and be happy. We're all here together again. Excellent. All right, guys, we're going to start with our flashcards, our large flashcards for some magic E long vowels. Let's go ahead and do that next. But before we do that, I want to let you know that you will need something to write with and write on for today's lesson. Let's do it. All right, scholars, you guys know the drill. I'm going to say the letter keyword sound, and I want you to repeat after me. Let's get started. My turn. O, home, O. A, safe, A. U, mule, U. I, pine, I. U, rule, oo. Notice that this letter keyword sound is different from this one. This one says U, like in mule. This one says oo, like in rule. And our last one, my turn. E, P, E. Nice job, scholars. Let's do our learning target. Okay, just a reminder, you need something to write with and write on for today's lesson. Although it's not a huge deal if you can't write along, but if you can, get something to write with and write on. Let's do our learning target. Read along with Miss Frederick. That's me. I can decode and define words with prefixes. I can decode and define words with prefixes. Let's start with the words that are in rectangles. That tells us what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is decode. Ooh, and D is actually a prefix. We'll get to defining prefixes in a second, but decode just means read. I'll draw a book to remind us that we're going to read. Boop, boop, quick sketch. All right. We're going to decode or read and define. That means tell what it means. I'll draw a speech bubble. Decode and define words with prefixes. Prefixes go at the beginning of a word and it changes the meaning just a little bit. Kind of like how suffixes go at the end, like play, changing to played. The ed suffix changes the word play just a little bit. Prefixes work the same way, but they go at the beginning of the word. In fact, pre is another prefix. Pre, D. We also have ones like re. Again, using the word play, you could put re at the beginning and have replay. P-L-A-Y. We've got that vowel team A-Y. Here it says A-Y, play A. And re is the prefix. We're going to work all with prefixes today. And this is where I want you to write along with me. But again, if you don't have something to write with or write on, you can just use two fat fingers and do it in the air. Let's get started. All right, friends, this is where you're going to write along with Miss Frederick, either on your piece of paper or cardboard or with two fat fingers in the sky. Please write the word that I'm going to write. It's M, I, S, T, A, K, E. There's your word. Make sure you wrote it just like Miss Frederick. M, I, S, T, A, K, E. You ready? Okay, let's start by identifying the prefix in this word. Do you see a prefix? Remember, that's a group of letters that go at the beginning of a word and it changes the meaning just a little bit. If you see that prefix, circle it either with your marker, pencil, crayon, or with two fat fingers. I found the prefix M-I-S. Did you circle M-I-S? Nice. What does the M-I-S prefix say? Miss. Miss. And I know the M-I-S prefix means that something was done wrong or incorrectly. Miss. Like if you misunderstand something, it means you understood it incorrectly. You understood it wrong. Let's read the next part of the word, and I spy a magic E. So we're looking at this vowel. What's the next part of the word? Take. Remember, the E makes this vowel say its name. Take. And then we don't say the E. Mistake. Mistake. What's the word? Mistake. Mistake is where you do something wrong. But remember, it's okay to make mistakes, right? Miss Frederick does things wrong all the time, but then I know how to fix it. And then I don't make the same mistake again and again. I learn from it. Mistake. We read or decoded the word. We found that prefix. And then we told what the word meant. That means define. Nice, let's do another one. I'm going to wishy-washy my board. You guys out there at home, I want you to find a new place to write something. Again, you can skywrite. And the next word we're going to write is S-U-B-T-I-T-L-E. Ooh, another magic E word. Before we get to the part with the magic E, let's identify or find the prefix. If you find the prefix, I want you to either circle it on your paper or circle it on the screen with two fat fingers. I spy the prefix S-U-B. Make sure you circled the S-U-B in this word. And what does the S-U-B prefix say? Sub. Kind of like a submarine. Sub means under. Like a submarine. I know marine means ocean, and submarines go under the ocean. Sub. Now this word isn't submarine though. Let's finish reading the word to find out which word we're working with here. I spy that magic E. So this vowel's going to say its name. Read the second part of the word. And let's say it together. T-I-T-O. Remember, we're skipping that E. It just makes the vowel say its name. T-I-T-O. Title. Title. Subtitle. Subtitle. What's this word? Subtitle. That means it's going to go under the title. Like we have subtitles on TV that help us read what the words are saying. They go under at the bottom of the screen. And also, if you have a subtitle on a book, it's going to go under the title. It's not the title, it goes under the title. Sub means under. Let's do another word. I'm going to wishy-washy my board. Okay, I'm ready to wishy-washy. Where did my subtitle word go? Oh well, gives us extra time to write. A little bit of TV magic. And the word we're going to write next is spelled like this. U-N-K-N-O-W-N. That's a long word. I'll give you a second to make sure you wrote it the same way I did. Okay, let's start by identifying or finding the prefix. Give you a hand, it goes at the beginning of the word. Prefixes always go at the beginning. Did you circle the prefix? Nice. I found the prefix UN. Make sure that you circled the same prefix as me. What does the UN prefix say? Un. Un. Like if I undo a knot, that means that the knot has been It's not done anymore. The un prefix means not. Let's read the rest of the word. Ooh, and I think it's a power word. I'm trying to block the first part. Gonna read the second part of the word. What power word do you see? Known. Remember, if you take off the N, it would be no. It's hard to show you guys. If you took off the N, it would be no. But when you add the N, it's known. Like, it is known that I have a dog named Javi. Now, let's make sure that we can read the whole word. Unknown. 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 The word you wrote is unknown. That means it's not known. Because that prefix means not. Unknown means it's not known. Like, it is unknown whether Miss Frederick likes broccoli in her ice cream. Do you know that about Miss Frederick? No, it's not known, it's unknown. But I'll make it known now. I definitely don't like broccoli in my ice cream. Let's do another word. Ready? The screen's gonna go clear in 1, 2, 3. Look at that, the screen is nice and clean. My word is clean. More TV magic, I love it. The next word we're going to write is, let me check my notes. Ooh, D, I, S, A, G, R. I had to stop and check for a second. E, and another E. Make sure you spelled your word D, I, S, A, G, R, E, E. Whew, another long word. We can make it a little bit shorter though by finding a prefix. Please circle the prefix. And I found the prefix D-I-S. Did you circle the same prefix as Miss Frederick? Nice. If you haven't, do so now. Okay, the D-I-S prefix says dis. Dis, like if you're acting disrespectful, are you being very respectful? No, it also means not, kind of like un. Dis means not. Disrespectful means not respectful at all. Let's read the rest of the word because this one's not disrespectful. Ignoring that prefix, read the rest of the word. Did anybody read it at home? I bet some of you did. It reminds me of talk moves that we at least do at Olympic View. That's where I teach. Read, Howie. Agree. Yeah, and sometimes we disagree. Oh my goodness, we read the word and wrote the word disagree. Disagree means I do not agree. Disagree. Is it okay to disagree sometimes? Of course. We disagree about all sorts of things, but it's good to be able to talk about disagreements in a healthy way. All right, guys, my board is clean for another word. Do you have room on your paper? Do you have room in the sky if you're using 2 fat fingers? You're like, of course, there's always room in the sky. Let's all write the word. Let me check my notes. N, O, N, S, T, O, P. Here's your word. I'll give you a second to check your spelling. And then let's identify and circle the prefix. Ooh, I spy the prefix N-O-N. You kids out there at home, did you circle the N-O-N prefix? Nice. What does the N-O-N prefix say? Non. And oh my goodness, here is yet another prefix, a little part of a word that goes at the beginning of a word and changes the meaning just a little bit. And it's another prefix that means not. 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 They even sound kind of the same. Let's read the rest of the word. I'll give you a second to do it on your own. And we'll do it together. Stop. Stop. Non-stop. Non-stop. The word we wrote was non-stop. That means that it does not stop. Like my dog Javi, who's right here in my lap. Javi, you want to say hi? He's so camera shy. It's okay. You don't have to be shy. He plays non-stop. That means he does not stop playing. Let's do another word. This one's really, really hard. You ready? All right, this next word is super duper long. You want to try it? Here we go. It's TRANSCONTIN. I'll do a hyphen to show that it's still going. I told you it was a long word. ENTAL. Okay, I had to make sure that I got all the letters in there. That's a really hard word to spell, even for someone who did second grade a long time ago. Now, this word looks so long that I bet some of you are going, I can't read that word. No. That word has about a bajillion letters in it, which it is very long, you're right. But if we break it up into chunks, it'll be much easier to read. Let me show you how we can read it. Let's start by identifying and circling, maybe with 2 fat fingers because this one's so long, circling the prefix. Even the prefix is long here. I spy TRANS. What does this prefix say? Trans. Trans. And the trans prefix means across. Okay, now the rest of the word is still very, very long, so let's break it into chunks. Let me show you how we can read this word. The first chunk is CON. Let's sound it out together. Con. Easy, right? Con. How about the second chunk? Tin. Con-tin. Here's our next chunk. Just 2 letters. N. And this last one's tricky. The A is going to make kind of an O sound. Whoops. Okay. All. Tall. Continental. Continental. Let's have the trans. Okay, it's got a lot of parts. Transcontinental. Transcontinental. What word is this super long word? Transcontinental. That means across many continents. Continents are big areas of land, like Antarctica is a continent and Australia is a continent. And if there's a flight that is transcontinental, that means it's flying very far into a new continent. Now, today, I want you to find someone at home or in your community, maybe even a stuffy or a dog, and say, oh, look at that flight. I wonder if it's transcontinental. You can even define it or tell what it means. There are lots and lots of prefixes in the world around you. As you read, I want you to try and identify or find some. But great job for today's lesson. We worked on prefixes and read words with about a bajillion letters in them. Transcontinental. Kiss your brain. Bye, scholars. I'll see you tomorrow.
It's Miss Wagner here, our 3rd week in, so my 2nd graders. Let's go ahead and grab those materials, something to write with and something to write on. If you don't already have it, go do that now. I'll give you a couple seconds before we get started, all right? our learning target for today. And remember, go ahead and read this with me, even if you're at home, still reading and practicing those reading skills as well. Ready? I will mentally add and subtract 10 using a 100 chart. Now, I want you to think to yourself, something I know. So something I can go ahead and tell somebody in my house what it is, and I can give an example of it. And then something that you're wondering, something like, Miss Wagner, I don't have any idea what this is. Can't remember. So go ahead and think that for a second. And again, if you have like a stuffy or somebody next to you, go ahead and tell them something that you're wondering and something that you know. I'll read it again one more time, just in case. I will mentally add and subtract 10 using a 100 chart. All right, so let's go ahead and start with some I knows, things that I think that you may already know. Again, you may already know how to add and subtract, right? We're adding more, we're taking away. And maybe you remember seeing that 100 chart as well. We have used it previously. So something that maybe you're wondering is you're probably wondering what mentally means. And mentally means something that you can do in your head. You can look at it and you can do it in our head. Some of us can do our math problems in our head. We can see two numbers, for example, 5 and 5, and we mentally can add that and know that it's 10. So mentally just being able to add it and see it all in our little brain. All right, are we ready? We're going to go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So for our warm-up today, we're going to go ahead and focus on our 100 chart, just like our learning target said, is that we're going to be using a 100 chart. Let me go ahead and move this around so we can see the whole thing. And so we are going to go ahead and use the 100 chart to mentally add 10 to a number. You're probably wondering which number because we don't have a number yet. So I'm going to put right here on the side the two numbers that we're going to work with. First number we're going to look at is 46. So we are going to go ahead and mentally add, well, not mentally add, I'm sorry. We're going to go ahead and find 46 on our 100 chart and add 10 to it. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and do that on your own. Go ahead and find 46 on my chart and add 10 to it. What would you get? All right, so 46 is right here on the chart, and we are going to go ahead and add 10. We can do these one or two different ways. So I'm going to show you the first way. The first way is adding 10. So we start here and we can count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we get 56. Or we may have learned from previous years, like kindergarten or first grade, that if we see 46 in the chart, we know if we go straight down, that's going to be 10. Because if we added 10 to 46, we had a 1 and a 0. We know 6 and a 0 make 6, and 4 and a 1 would make 5, giving us 56. So we went and we already did a little warm up for that number. Let's go ahead and do it again for the number 92. So again, find 92 on our 100s chart and go ahead and add 10 to it. All right, so if I went on here and I find 92 and I add 10 to it, you're gonna be like, oh, Miss Wagner, it's not here on my 100 chart, and you are right. But if you could have done the way that we did up here for 46, and we knew if we just jumped ahead that we'd get that, or maybe you had to go ahead and count on it, and that's okay. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and count on and see what we get. I'm gonna move my chart a little up so that I have some room. All right, so we're gonna start at 92, and we're gonna count on 10. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It means we have 2 more to go, so we have to write what comes after 100. What comes after 100? 101 and 102. So we start at 8, 9, 10. And again, the same trick applied. If I just added 10, it's the one right underneath there. So that's a little trick to help us. All right, so our answer is 102. Let's go ahead and we're going to take that same idea now and we're going to practice it using this. Now, I created it on my own, right? Because we're at home and we're all working with what we have. So this is what I have. I just created one. So in this, I will put a number that we're going to be working with. And this is kind of a little trick. The blues are going to represent adding 1 and subtracting 1. The 10s are going to represent adding 10 and subtracting 10, as if it was on the hundreds chart. So it's kind of like my little cheat sheet. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes to go ahead and make something like this. I want you to make about 3, maybe 4, just in case, of these squares. I'm going to give you a couple minutes. You do not have to do the same color, but you do just have to make kind of like a little cross, like a plus sign. You do have to make those. So I'm going to give you a couple seconds to make about 3, and then we're going to go ahead and start. Maybe about 1 more second and 5 more seconds longer. Okay, by this time you should at least have 1 done, and if you don't, it's okay. Or if you don't have more done, that's fine. We just need 1 for right now, and we'll go ahead and I'll give you more time later on. All right, so I'm going to put the number that we're going to be using. We are going to focus on, and that's too big, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in. We are going to focus on the number 32, okay? That's the number that we're focusing on, remember, right now. And remember that our learning target says that we're going to be mentally be able to add and subtract 10. We're also going to go ahead and do that 1. So we are focusing on 32. Before I show you the hundreds chart, I'm going to go ahead and see if you can go ahead and focus on one of those. I'm going to want you to try to fill in as many squares as you can. What's 1 less of 32? Put it right here. What's 1 more of 32? Put it right here. What's 10 more of 32? Put it right here. And what's 10 less of 32? Put it right here. I'm going to have you see if you can kind of do this a little bit on your own before I show you the hundreds chart. So go ahead and see what you can do first. About a couple more seconds. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our hundreds chart. And first, let's focus finding the number 32. All right, so looking and finding our number 32. And what we're going to look at right now is the 1 less. So if I take 1 less from 32, what am I going to get? 31, right? I'm going down just 1. And so that will be in this square right here. 1 less of 32 is 31. Let's go ahead and think about what is 1 more of 32? 33, right? Because I'm just going up 1 more, I'm getting 33. And that would go right here in this square. Now again, let's look at 32 and we're going to think about what is 10 more of 32? 10 more of 32. So the little trick would be going straight down, and we know that's going to be 10 more. We could also still count out if we need to. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm counting actually. How about you go ahead and clap it out? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I still get 42. All right, so that means I would go in that 10 more square right there. And if I'm at 32, what's 10 less? 22, right? So as you can see, friends, it's a little pattern just like it is right here on like my plus sign. I have a little plus sign here as well. And that kind of helps us just mentally see that if we're thinking about this, and if we mentally have to add 10, if we can see this in our head and we go, oh, 32, it's just going to be 42. We're just going down right here. So let's go ahead and keep practicing, okay? Now that you have the little trick in mind, let's go ahead and add another number. Okay, your new number is the number 56. Remember, you're trying to think of the hundreds chart, but I'm going to keep it away. I just want us to keep practicing. We're at 56. I want you to go ahead and think about what's one less of 56, what's one more of 56, what's 10 more of 56, and what's 10 less of 56. Go ahead and go. A couple more seconds. All right, let's go ahead and check this out. So here's my hundreds chart. We're going to go ahead and find the number 56. Check. We're going to check your answers. So here's the number 56. Now we're thinking about what's one less of 56. Go ahead and say it out loud. If you said 55, you are correct. We're just going down one, right? One less of 56 is 55. Go ahead and say that with me. One less of 56 is 55. Nice job. All right, we're at 56. What's one more of 56? Go ahead and say it out loud. Right, 57. So go ahead and say it with me. One more of 56 is 57. Look, we already have our little pattern forming. All right, now let's go ahead and think about what's 10 less of 56. 10 less. Going down, 10 less. Right, it is 46. You could say, thinking in when you're thinking, I'm going down, and think you're going this way, but you can see the numbers are getting higher, so we need to go down in numbers, right? So 10 less is going to be 46. That's the less. That's least. So then what is 10 more of 56? 66. And again, we have our little plus sign there. That helps us, again, mentally see it. We can see that we were focusing on 56. We talked about one less, one more, 10 less, 10 more. All right, friends, nice job. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to go ahead and make a new one just in case you don't already have those squares. So go ahead and make a new set of squares just in case. I'm only giving you a couple seconds. All right. Here's another number for us, the number 89. Again, I'm going to give you a little bit to go ahead and find one less of 89, one more of 89, 10 less of 89, and 10 more of 89. Go. Couple more seconds. All right, so hundreds chart, ready? We're gonna look at the number 89. Find it on our hundreds chart, here it is. All right, now that you can see it right here, what is 1 less of 89? Go ahead and say it out loud. Perfect. If you said 88, you're correct. That's 1 less. We're going down, we take 1 away from 89. All right, we're back at 89. What's 1 more of 89? Go ahead and say it out loud. Nice job. 90. If you said 90, you're correct. Again, we're forming our little plus right here, helping us mentally be able to see it. Ready? We're at 89. What's 10 less of 89? Go ahead and say it out loud. 79. Nice job. All right, the last one. What's 10 more of 89? Go ahead and say that out loud as well. 99. Nice job, friends. Look at that. We just did it again. This may have felt easy for you today, and if that's the case, that's awesome because it's helping us get ready for what we're going to be doing the next week. So it's preparing you for tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that. So keep this all in mind. Be ready to use it again the next tomorrow. All right? See you guys later.
Les saluda Mrs. Mares y hoy vamos a seguir nuestras lecciones de matemáticas en español. Esta semana vamos a seguir ocupando los mismos materiales que usamos la semana pasada y si necesitas un recordatorio los voy a tener detrás de mí. Vas a necesitar un lápiz y un papel, un pedazo de papel. Esta semana vamos a practicar el contar 10 a un número, sumarle 10 a un número o quitarle 10 a un número. También vamos a practicar el sumarle 100 a un número o quitarle 100 a un número. Así que para comenzar, quiero que hagamos un ejercicio juntos. Vamos a aplaudir y vamos a contar de 10 en 10 hasta llegar a 100. ¿Listos para contar conmigo? Prepara tus manos y vamos a aplaudir mientras contamos de 10 en 10 hasta 100. Muy bien. ¿Listo? 1, 2, 3. Comencemos. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. ¿Y en qué termina? 100. Muy bien. Comenzaremos nuestra lección. Acuérdate que contamos de 10 en 10. Decimos 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. ¿Qué seguía? 60, 70, 80, ¿qué sigue? 90 y 100. Muy bien, entonces nuestro objetivo el día de hoy, vamos a seguir practicando eso, pero lo vamos a hacer con diferentes estrategias. Nuestro objetivo es que vamos a poder sumar, acuérdate que sumar es cuando ponemos algo junto y restar es cuando quitamos de un total 10 o 100. El día de hoy nos vamos a enfocar en 10. En mi mente, eso es muy importante. Yo te voy a enseñar diferentes estrategias, pero tienes que aprender en hacerlo en tu mente. Hoy vamos a usar una tabla de 100. Eso significa que vamos a ver 100 hasta 100 números y vamos a practicar qué va a pasar si yo le sumo 10 o le quito 10. Así que vamos a practicar juntos. En la tabla de 100, si te fijas, tenemos del 1 al 100. Entonces, esta tabla la vamos a usar el día de hoy para practicar el sumar 10 o el quitar 10. Así que vamos a practicar. Si tú lo puedes hacer en tu mente, muy bien, lo vas a intentar conmigo. Si tú necesitas también la tabla para pensarlo, muy bien también. Vamos a practicar. Si yo digo que vamos a hacer el número 46, veo el número 46 y yo te digo a ti, ¿cuánto es 10 más que 46? Si le agrego 10 a 46, ¿en qué número terminaré? Si estoy en 46 y le agrego 10, ¿cuál va a ser mi nuevo número? 46 más 10. Piénsalo. 46 más 10. ¿Cuál sería mi respuesta? 56. ¿Por qué? Contemos. Veamos si cuento hasta 10, voy a terminar en 56. Si comienzo en 46, contemos 10. ¿Listo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Muy bien. En el número 46 comencé con 4 decenas. Acuérdate que esos son un grupo de 10 y tengo 4 grupos de 10 porque 46 tiene 4 grupos de 10. ¿Y cuántas unidades tiene? Tiene 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ahora yo pregunté, ¿qué va a pasar si yo le agrego 10 a 46? ¿En qué número? Terminé en 56. ¿Por qué? Porque le agregué un grupo de 10 más. No le agregué a las unidades, entonces se quedó en 6, pero le agregué un grupo más de 10. Muy bien. Entonces ahora tengo 10, 20, 30, 40, 56. Vamos a intentar otro número más. Pero esta vez vamos a restar, vamos a quitar. Si yo te digo, comencemos en el número 92. 92. ¿Cuánto es 10 menos de 92? Si le quito 10 a 92, ¿en qué número terminaré? ¿En qué número terminaré? Cuenta si necesitas. ¿Ya tienes tu número? 82. Y vamos a ver por qué. Si cuento hacia atrás 10 veces, voy a quedar en el 82. Veamos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mi nuevo número es 82. Ahora si te enseño con nuestros bloques, si tengo 92, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Si tengo 92, necesito 2 unidades y 9 decenas. Si tengo 92 y dije que le iba a quitar un grupo de 10, le voy a quitar un grupo de 10. ¿Cuántos me quedan? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 y no le quité a las unidades, 82. Entonces, 92 menos 10, le quito 10 a 92, voy a 82. Para nuestra lección el día de hoy, eso es lo que vamos a practicar. Acuérdate, nuestro objetivo es poder sumar y restar 10 en mi mente. Podré sumar, ponemos juntos, o restar o quitar 10 en mi mente. Muy bien. Vamos a practicar 3 números. Así que en tu papel, si no tienes la tabla de 100, no te preocupes. Puedes escribir el número que vamos a hacer juntos en tu papel y te voy a dar tiempo para que tú pienses que es 10 más que ese número o 10 menos que ese número. ¿Listo para comenzar? Vamos a comenzar con el primer número. Voy a escoger el número, yo pienso en un número que tiene 3 decenas y 2 unidades. El número 32. El número 32. Ahora pensemos. ¿Cuánto es 10 más que 32? Si le agrego 10 a 32, ¿en qué número voy a terminar? Acuérdate que lo hicimos en nuestro calentamiento. ¿Qué pasó cuando pasé de 46 a 56? Hice como un saltito hacia abajo porque le agregué 10. Si te fijas, ya no es el 4, ahora son 5 decenas. Entonces, en 32, ¿qué va a pasar si le agrego 10 más? Si tengo 3 decenas y 2 unidades y le quiero agregar 10 más, un grupo de 10, ¿qué va a ser mi nuevo número? ¿Cuál piensas tú? Pon tu número en tu mente. ¿Listo? Lo vamos a revisar. Si le agrego un grupo de 10 más, ¿cuántas decenas tengo ahora? 1, 2, 3, 4 decenas. Aquí veo 4 decenas. ¿Y cuántas unidades? 2. Muy bien. Si le agrego 10 a 32, voy a terminar en 42. ¿Ese es el número que tenías? Muy bien. Ahora, si regreso a mi número 32 y le quito 10, ¿qué número voy a terminar? Piensa en tu número, puedes usar la tabla de 100 si lo necesitas. Voy a mover los bloques hacia abajo por si necesitas contar. ¿Cuánto es 32 menos 10? Si le quito un 10, un grupo de 10, a 32, ¿en qué número terminaré? ¿Ya lo tienes en tu mente? Hagámoslo junto. Si le quito un grupo de 10, adiós, le decimos al 10, ¿cuántos grupos de 10 tengo? ¿Cuántas decenas tengo? Me quedaron 2. Aquí veo 2. Pero ¿cuántas unidades me quedaron a mí? 2, porque no le quité nada a las unidades. Entonces, cuando le quito 10 a 32, mi nuevo número es 22. Ahora pensemos, ¿qué pasa en el lugar de las decenas cuando agrego 10 o cuando le quito 10? Veamos, hagamos un experimento. Vamos a ver. Si comienzo con 32 y le agrego un grupo de 10, ¿qué número es ahora en mis decenas? ¿Es un 3 o un 4? Un 4, muy bien. Ahora si regreso a 32 y le quito, tengo 3 decenas, 3 grupos de 10 y le quito un 10, ¿cuántas decenas me quedan? 2, muy bien. So, mi número ahora es 22. Muy bien. Vamos a intentar otro número. Ahora, antes de continuar, te quiero enseñar que también si te vas a la derecha o a la izquierda del número, le quitas 1 o le agregas 1. Por ejemplo, si a 32 le quiero agregar una unidad más, hoy voy a tener 33. Si a 32 le quito una unidad más, o una unidad menos, perdón, entonces voy a quedar a 31. Muy bien. Vamos a intentar otro número. Vamos a ir un poquito más cerca de 100. 89. 89. Ahora pensemos. Lo mismo que hicimos en el calentamiento y lo mismo que hicimos hace unos momentos. Escribe el número 89 en tu papel. 89. ¿Listo para la primera pregunta? Listo. En 89, mi primera pregunta va a ser, ¿qué pasará si le agrego 10 a 89? Tengo el número 89. ¿Necesito cuántas unidades? 9 unidades. Tengo aquí 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 unidades. Ya casi llego a las 10. ¿Y cuántas decenas necesito? 8 decenas. Muy bien. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ahora mi pregunta es, si le agrego a 89, le quiero agregar 10, un grupo más de 10. Aquí lo tengo, pero no te lo voy a enseñar, no lo vamos a contar todavía, porque quiero que tú pienses en tu mente, ¿qué va a pasar si yo agrego un grupo de 10? Tengo 89 y le quiero agregar una decena más. ¿Cuál va a ser mi nuevo número? Ponlo en tu mente. Te voy a dar unos segundos para que lo tengas en tu mente. Puedes contar hacia adelante si lo necesitas o puedes usar lo que hicimos hace unos momentos. ¿Cuál es mi nuevo número si le agrego un grupo más de 10? ¿Lo tienes en tu mente? ¿Cuál es el nuevo número? Yo creo que ya lo tienes. Vamos a ver si es cierto. Si tengo 89 y le agrego un grupo más de 10, vamos a contar y ver cuál es mi nuevo número. ¿Listo? Contemos las unidades primero. Pero no cambié mis unidades, entonces voy a seguir teniendo 9. No las necesito contar porque ya sé que tengo 9. Ahora contemos nuestras decenas. Cuando contemos 10 por 10, vamos a aplaudir. ¿Juntos? ¿Listo? Vamos a comenzar. 1, 2, 3. Comencemos juntos. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. ¿Cuál es mi nuevo número ya que le agregué 10? 99. Si ese número tenías en tu mente, eres todo un experto. Ahora tengo 89 porque ese es mi número. Le agregué 10 más y terminé en 99. Y si te fijas, lo único que cambió fueron mis decenas, porque solo le agregué al grupo de 10, no le agregué a mis unidades. Intentemos ahora quitarle 10 a 89. Tengo 89 y le tengo que quitar 10. Le tengo que quitar, voy a quitar un grupo de 10. ¿Cuál sería mi nuevo número? Ponlo en tu mente, pensemos juntos. Veo mi tabla. Ya tengo mi número en mi mente. ¿Lo tienes tú? Muy bien. Vamos a hacerlo juntos. Si le quito 10, un grupo de 10 a 89, ¿le tengo que quitar mis unidades? No, porque esas son unidades. No necesito quitarle un grupo de 10 a 9 y no puedo de todas maneras. Ahora, si le tengo que quitar un 10 a las 8 decenas, ¿cuántas decenas me quedan? Le voy a quitar el 10, bye bye. Decimos adiós, nos vemos después. ¿Cuántas decenas me quedan ahora? Contemos. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. 70 y tengo 9 unidades. Mi nuevo número ahora es 79. Si le quito 10 a 89, me queda 79. Muy bien. Ahora, si le agrego 1 más 89, me va a quedar 90, porque hice un grupo de 10. Si le quito 1, una unidad, a 88 me van a quedar, a 89, perdón, me van a quedar 88. Muy bien. Hoy practicamos el sumar y el restar 10 de un número. Practicamos 32, le agregamos 10, es 42, le quitamos 10, es 22, y a 89 le agregamos 10, es 99, le quitamos 10 a 89 y fue 79. Ahora quiero que practiques tú en tu casa. Te voy a dar un número y quiero que me digas cuánto es 10 más que ese número si le agrego 10. Y si le quito 10, ¿cuál va a ser mi nuevo número? Tu número es 56. Ahora pensemos, ¿cuánto es 10 más que 56? Ponlo en tu mente. Solo le agregas a la decena. Muy bien. Ahora, si le quitamos 10 a 56, le quitamos una decena, ¿qué número vas a tener? Practícalo en tu casa y nos veremos mañana. Mañana seguiremos practicando cómo sumar y restar 10 a un número. Hasta pronto.